Hello, this is Evan from Atheist Views. We're going to be talking about atheism and why it isn't a belief system. So yeah, let's jump into it. So before we dive into the specifics, we need to outline a few important things. For one, we need to have the definition of atheist. So here we are, it's a person who disbelieves or lacks belief in the existence of God or multiple gods. So we can break this up into two different parts. A being without, and theist being God. So generally it just means without God. It's a rejection to the assertion that there is a God or gods. And just to clarify, this doesn't make any active claims. Being an atheist is not an active claim. It's the rejection to an active claim. And when you have an active claim, you're the one who has to be providing the evidence. So when it comes down to it, it's usually like the theists who have to provide the evidence, because they're the ones making the active claim, whereas atheists are the ones who are simply rejecting the claim due to a lack of evidence. Alrighty, so now we can talk about agnosticism. So it's usually a term that's used in place of atheism. If you want to be a little bit more low-key about your lack of belief in God, you just want more of a modest title, more of a modest label. But it's pertinent that everyone understands the difference between the two, because it's, for one, they're not mutually exclusive. You can be an agnostic atheist. So just to break it down, atheism is about the belief in something, while agnosticism is about the knowledge of that thing. So here we actually have a graph showing the two and how they're not mutually exclusive. So just talking about the quadrant showing the Gnostic theist, that includes someone who holds a belief in a god or multiple gods, while knowing 100% of this belief. They're certain. And then in the quadrant agnostic theist, that alludes to someone who believes in a god or gods, but doesn't claim to have 100% certainty on the subject. They're not gonna be too sure of their belief. So that was the agnostic theist. That it usually isn't a very common title that people use. They'll probably just call themselves a theist, but we're just breaking it down here. So then next we see the Gnostic atheist. So a Gnostic atheist is someone who lacks a belief in a god or gods and claims to have 100% knowledge of such. And then we have the agnostic atheist, which most likely is going to be the most common title that atheists will use. That's someone who just lacks a belief in a god or gods but does not claim to know for certain. So yeah, that's just breaking down the graph there. So a major arguing point that theists will have is when they hear that somebody is agnostic, they'll think, oh, they don't know for certain, so they aren't really atheists. But that's the fallacy. They assume that they are mutually exclusive terms when they're not. You can be agnostic atheist, you can not believe in God because of a lack of evidence, but not claim to be 100% certain. And there isn't any problem with that. They're not mutually exclusive, so that works. So yeah, anyway, I hope that can clear up some false assumptions about atheism and agnosticism, and some theistic arguments regarding such things. So yeah, I think that concludes this video.